A very good morning, dear students. We are doing the first unit, that is literary forms, and in the last two parts, we have discussed as to what poetry is, what is a lyric. Lyric is a small poem, a short poem which can be sung. What is a sonnet? Sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. Today, I will deal with the next form of poetry, that is epic. नाउ एपिक जिसे हम हिंदी में महागाथा भी बोलते हैं, है ना? एंड वी हैव टू ग्रेट एपिक्स in our literature in Indian context, if I say Mahabharat and the Ramayana, right? Now, what do you find there? Why epic is a special or a different category? Because it has something which is grand. The style is grand. The heroes who are there, they have supernatural powers. They have superhuman qualities, and um, whatever activities they can perform can easily be uh, termed as having supernatural powers. हम राम की बात करें या हम विष्णु जी की बात करें, उनके जितने अवतार दिखाए गए हैं, विष्णु पुराण में दिखाए गए हैं या महाभारत में भी, वी नो दैट लॉर्ड कृष्ण एंड लॉर्ड राम वर द अवतार्स ऑफ Lord Vishnu, right? And एक episode which I would like to, which will explain to you uh, what epic is basically is the example that I want that relates to Vishnu ji's avatar जब उन्होंने जो उनका fifth incarnation था as Vaman, right? इंद्रदेव जो थे, he lost the battle to the king of Asur, who? King Bali. Hmm? And इंद्रदेव और बाली ने क्या किया? He became the ruler or the king of the whole world, all the worlds, right? And then Indradev, he went for help to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu then took his fifth incarnation, जो उन्होंने अपना पांचवा अवतार लिया, and that was in the form of Vaman. And when not Lord, but King Bali was going through the ritual ceremonies that were taking place, जिसमें सारे असुर थे, तो Vaman is also there, and he's asked that Bali asks him that what can I do for you? He says, I don't want much. I just want three um, feet of land. तीन पग भूमि लूंगा मैं ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, he said. Said okay. बाली said okay. जबकि बाली के जो मंत्री थे उन्होंने उन्हें आगाह भी किया that this is somebody really great. This might be Lord Vishnu in this form. But Bali did not pay attention to what his पंडित was saying. एंड इवेंचुअली इट सो हैपेंस कि वामन जी जब तीन पग लेते हैं, उन तीन पग में वो पूरी धरती जो है वापस ले लेते हैं बाली से. एंड द एंड वामन, he returns, or Lord Vishnu, I would say, he returns everything back to whom? To Lord Indra. So this is a grand story, a different story, an unreal story of a grand proportion, which is told in a grand style. So any work of art, हम ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि सिर्फ there are poems, there are certain novels also, certain drama also, which have attained that level of being an epic. Okay, that is I will what is I'm going to discuss, but you have to understand that what is epic: a poem with a grand style, a grand language, and having grand characters which are more than real, which are more than life. Okay, so let us start. I hope I could give you a good example and you could understand what epic is. So, why I've written here third? Because it's the third form we are doing. So, epic is a long poem on a serious subject. An epic narrates some incidents that involve heroic characters. The action of these heroic characters decides the fate of a tribe, nation, or even the human race itself. Epic has been considered highest of all honors. ये और नहीं आएगा यहाँ पे. So epic has been considered as highest of all the genres. Genres, poetry, drama, fiction, non-fiction, everything. So there are two kinds of epic. There is a traditional. These are the traditional epics, and you have the literary epics. Ramayana is the traditional epic. Mahabharat, Vishnu Puran, and Manu Smriti. So Vishnu Puran, of course, it deals with the various avatars which Lord Vishnu had taken, and Manu Smriti is known as the legal text which existed in our ancient literature. It is known as the Dharm Shastra. Okay, so that too is in the category of traditional epic. These are certain English epics, English traditional, not English, sorry, these are Greek, sorry, Greek epics that have been written, and they have somehow been the basis of many plays which were written by Shakespeare, many poems which were written by the people of Renaissance age. You know what was Renaissance? Renaissance was basically revival of literature, right? Revival of art. So many writers, चाहे वो dramatist थे या poet थे, they took recourse to the great works written by Greek writers. So Homer wrote two famous epic stories which are still read even today. I would suggest आप लोग भी please पढ़ें इसको. Abridged versions भी आती हैं. तो do read. You'll really gain something from them. One is called the Iliad and the other is called the Odyssey. अब ये जो दोनों हैं, मैं डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगी because that is not important, but I'll just give you a brief idea. Now, the Iliad, it is obviously both are written by Homer, and it deals with the war of Trojan War, जिसको हम कहते हैं, the war which took place for almost 10 years, right? So this is what Iliad deals with, and the second one, that is the Odyssey. This deals with the journey of Odysseus. Odysseus was the king of Ithaca. Okay, he was a Greek hero, and Odyssey deal with the return of Odysseus after the Trojan War was over. So it includes many things which are grand, which are beyond real life, which many things which are heroic in action, in moves, and everything. Okay, so these are two. One of the most popular, I would say, Greek epics. So here are features of traditional epic. It is also known as a primary epic or folk epic. It emerged from oral poems about a tribal or a national hero. अब आपको ना ये oral जो चीज़ है ना, इस चीज़ को समझो. What oral literature is all about. There are two things: oral literature and written literature. Written literature is which is written, and the coming generations will read and they'll know about the things. Okay, and oral literature ka best example which I could give you is that how our dadis and our nanis, they used to tell us stories of the folk, of the culture to which we belong. वो जो कहानियाँ उन्होंने हमें सुनाई हैं, पौराणिक कथाएं अपनी जगह से रिलेटेड, अपनी कम्युनिटी से रिलेटेड, and through that the oral tradition, the oral literature passes from one generation to another. So that is how traditional epic emerged. It emerged from oral poems. Homer's Iliad and Odyssey are great Greek epics, I've already told you. In England, Beowulf, which was written by an anonymous writer. Anonymous हम कब लिखते हैं? When we do not know the name of the writer. So this was in the 15th century in England. This work was written, which has features of an epic, or which can be called an epic. And in France, Chaucer de Roland was another well-known traditional epic that was written. So this is again by anonymous. We do not know the writer. Second category is two categories: traditional epic, literary epic. A literary epic is an original composition of individual poet. Virgil's poem Aeneid It is a Latin work, which is a literary epic. And Milton's Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained are famous literary epics. अब देखो दोनों जो आपके वर्क्स हैं दे आर द सेम ट्रेडिशनल या एपिक की लिटरेरी की हम बात करें दे बोथ हैव विल हैव द सेम फीचर्स जिसको मैं ग्रैंडर से जोड़ रही हूँ ठीक है बट द डिफरेंस ओवर हियर इज ट्रेडिशनल यू विल फाइंड दैट इट originated from the oral literature or oral poem that existed during those times, and these are written by individual poems. They are original compositions, you can say. Now, to give you a small example of Milton's Paradise Lost, now this poem, it deals with the story that why human beings we were thrown from heaven. हमें heaven से earth पे क्यों फेंक दिया गया? Because of the blunder done by Eve, Adam and Eve, you must have known. The blunder that they did, Eve did basically, she ate the forbidden fruit. Okay, so now this is the story that is being told in Paradise Lost, and that is what makes it a great literary epic. So you got to remember the definition and you got to remember the examples. Yeah, here are this pictures I've added. The Aeneid by Virgil and Paradise Lost. It contains 12 poems. I'll come to this later. Now, what are the features? This is the most important part, apart from definitions and two types of epic. Now, Homer's epics are followed as models by most of the writers of the epic. Most of the epics share the features evolved by Homer in his epic. Both these things mean the same thing that Homer को model बनाया गया था. His epics were followed. They were taken as models. They were taken as bases to write new epics. Sorry. The epic is divided into different parts called books, usually 12 in number. Homer's Iliad and Odyssey has 20 books each. Milton's Paradise Lost has 12 books each. Epics generally begin. Now these are features you have to learn them और जो चीज़ मैंने underline किया है उस पे आपको ज़्यादा focus करना है. These are the points that you will have to remember. So epic begins by stating the theme. Paradise Lost, the poem, it begins by stating the theme and invocation. Invocation is you are praying to God. Invocation means prayers. Now, these are the lines, opening lines of the poem Paradise Lost. एक बात ध्यान रखें Paradise Lost को मैंने capitals में लिखा है because it is a poem which is in the form of book. It is not like The Man He Killed, which I had put in inverted commas. So remember these basics, please. So, how the poem starts? Of man's first disobedience. पूरी की पूरी जो poem है, epic है, वो man की disobedience के बारे में है, and it begins by stating the theme. And the fruit of that forbidden tree, whose mortal taste brought death into the world and all our problem. Here the poet introduces the theme and tells the reader that the poem deals with the grand topic of what? Grand topic of downfall of man from heaven. An epic does not start from the beginning. It will start from somewhere in the middle of the things. शुरू से नहीं, it will not start from the beginning. It will start from the middle of the things, and then whatever happened will be revealed as the poem progresses. Generally, story of an epic begins at some sorry for the error, begins at some critical point. The action of the epic is superhuman and is usually controlled by supernatural beings. For example, Ram in Ramayana and Lord Krishna in Mahabharata were known as avatars of Lord Vishnu, and they possessed godly powers. That is what is one of the most important and significant feature of an epic. An epic has a number of thrilling episodes like battles, duels are fights, superhuman encounters, unimaginable characters, etc. And the last lockdown, if you people have seen the old version of Mahabharat, you can imagine, it can come to your mind the battles, how they are shown here, the encounters that were shown in the Mahabharat or the Ramayana. The epic is set in an area that may cover whole nation or world or even the universe. And so we can say that the setting of the epic is large scale. And as far as the style of an epic is concerned, it is generally distanced. Distanced का मतलब simple यहाँ समझना हो that it is far from reality. Reality that is today, it is far from that. It is distanced from the reality and familiar speech. I will read it again. And as far as style is concerned, it should be and it is generally distanced from ordinary familiar speech. Milton used elaborate comparisons, allusions, formal diction in his epics, and his style is termed as grand style. Allusion, simple example how Ravan changed himself into the form of a sadhu and went to Sitaji and he abducted her from there. That is what an illusion is, where reality comes in the garb of something. Okay, so these are the features on which you have to focus as to what an epic is, what are the categories of epic, and what are the important features along with important examples. Now, the term epic has been used for these popular works. You can go through them, what they are. Some are novels, some are poems. Even Hamlet by William Shakespeare has been considered as an epic. Now, Dante's Divine Comedy and Spenser's The Fairy Queen. These are long poems which are called epic. Moby Dick by Herman Melville, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. These are novels which are called epic. Now, why they are called epic? The reason why these narratives are called epic is that they have an extraordinary scope and scale, meaning that they have been written in grand style. This is what I have been talking since I am explaining you that what an epic is. And another reason is that the subject of these narrative is of very, very profound importance. The subject matter is really very important. So the two important categories that we have dealt with were traditional and the literary epic. Now there, this one is a another category which is called mock epic. अब mock हम generally क्या बोलते हैं? Mock, I hope you all know meaning of mock. Mock होता है हम किसी का मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं. We are arousing laughter, we are making fun of somebody. But over here, mock epic meant more that we are not producing something, we are not writing something new, but we are imitating somebody's work, we are trying to copy somebody's work. So mock epic is an epic only in style. जो मॉक एपिक है ना वो एपिक किस में है, सिर्फ स्टाइल में है. ओके, इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ पैरोडी. It means imitation of the style of a writer. The Rape of the Lock. Now, this is a poem which is written by Alexander Pope, and it has a very trivial theme. What has happened? The lock of a queen has been cut off, and that is why the title has been given The Rape of the Lock, and everybody is talking about that. So, it belongs to the 17th century work. 17th century के writers का work है ये Alexander Pope का, and this has been given the title of a mock epic. Now, it is because it is epic. Why it is epic? Because it was trivial subject matter, trivial, not very important, and very weird kind of a subject matter. The subject matter that the lock of hair of a princess, a queen, has been cut off. Trivial subject matter and trivial theme. Now, point to remember. The writer of mock epic imitates the elaborate form and ceremonious style of the epic, but the subject matter remains ordinary. Okay? Trivial and ordinary. Remember this. So, mock epic is imitation of style of an epic, but it has a weaker matter, subject matter. तभी यहाँ पे मैंने शुरू में ही लिख दिया है mock epic is epic only in style because a style of the epic has been copied, but the subject matter is not grand as we have studied in literary epic or the traditional epic. Okay, so this is all as far as epic is concerned. Now we have two more coming further. Thanks. That is all for today. We shall continue.